All right, it's the Texas Growers Podcast. After 4 hours on a boat with Cozy Cannabis, I have made it to the studio to film a fantastic episode today. So shout out to Cozy for hosting their third annual boat party. It was fantastic. A lot of people enjoying and celebrating the cannabis plant out there on the water. I'm sure you can see by my face, I really overdid it. I have the Basil King crew here today. This is something that's super interesting. These guys make independent TV series and films and the likes, and I really want to dive into it. And I also want to introduce a lot of you out there to entertainment like this, because I think this is the way that the world is going, and more series like this are made for people like you. And so we just want to cross audience here today, and I'm going to get this whole crew to go around and introduce yourselves. This is the most people we've ever had in one sitting on the Texas Growers Podcast. So there's that record. But I'm going to start with this guy to my right. So go for it.
Yeah, dude. I'm Taylor Fredericks. I am the co-producer, co-writer, co-creator, and actor of Basil King.
I'm Shilava. I'm one of the head producers. I'm also the assistant director. And I might be playing a role in one of the later episodes, but we won't talk about that yet.
I'm Ryan Castro. I am a co-producer, writer, and actor.
Cool. Yeah. Well, dude, I'm really excited to dive into this because I'm excited to see it when it comes out. We'll talk about all those details later on. But give everybody kind of an intro to what Basil King even is. What is it? How would you explain it? And kind of give the overall rundown of the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, Basil King essentially it's an R-rated dark comedy. So there's also very mafia satire. So we always say it's like Goodfellas meets Eastbound and Down. But if you took those and they made a baby, it'd be like and Raised by Tropic Thunder, you would get Basil King. So that's kind of what we are venturing into. So pretty much about these three Goombas. Two of them are played by Castro and I, and they just keep getting themselves into shit. And they, no matter what they do, they think they're doing something right. They just keep getting themselves further down into this hole. And then all of a sudden they can't get out. So it's like this constant, shit getting into, I guess.
Yeah. I like to think of them as like the Three Stooges, like kind of in a way. You know what I mean? Like how they always put the Three Stooges like in different scenarios. That's totally what like the situation is with these guys.
I love it.
You didn't have to kill Mario back there. Look, you weren't getting a fucking dime back from that son of a bitch. All I'm saying is, you don't pay in green, you're paying in red.
God damn it, Bobby. So you're probably asking yourself, who's this and who's that? This is the real life story of me, Jeffrey Basils, the Basil King.
Yeah, babe, everything's fine. Business as usual.
So what are you supposed to be?
So basil's a metaphor?
Yes, basil is a metaphor. The whole world, there's so many different things that we do with herbs and, veggies and all that. But yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of metaphors for different variants of drugs.
So obviously you guys are professionals at this, but where does this idea come from? Like what makes you guys just wake up one day and say like, hey, we want to make this show specifically around like a weed metaphor, a drug metaphor for vegetables?
Well, it's actually funny because it's actually from just like, probably the inflation of crops. Because we were just like,
Home slice.
Yeah. And we're just looking at the prices of, top toppings. And like basil was on there like $3.99 or something like that. We're like, basil. Like we saw the plant like on the bar. I was like, is that it? Is that the one? I was like, oh my God, like we're in the wrong business, dude. Like, oh man. And so since then we're just kind of like, and I was on a Sopranos kick and I was just like, yo, Basil's big business, man.
the next thing, we're just sitting there talking like this and talking, making sure that, hey, the basil business is booming. The next thing you know, we got 7 episodes to first season.
Dude, that's incredible. Yeah, that's like such an interesting take on that. I mean, it is true though.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also a fad. Like it's popular to have like microgreens now and like all this stuff. So you can really make some serious, start a whole microgreens
I was
cartel.
looking at it. I was like, man, yeah, like we should really get into some basil business.
It's funny. It's really similar to what we're doing. I mean, we have like all these different farmers around. We call them farmers here. Other people call them growers. We call them farmers in Texas, but we have these farmers that are all around, you know, and they're seeing that the hemp business is just booming. It's one of those things where you can pay for a lot of your operation just based on that one crop. So you can still do all of the important pieces of agriculture you've always done. But
was it like $5 billion already
money.
this year?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. And so it was a cash crop. And so that was kind of the awakening for a lot of us. Some people were legacy growers that grew before you were supposed to. Other people are farmers. They come from agriculture and they just realize like this is a green rush. I need to get in here. So all of a sudden, you know, they're explaining to their family in the local chamber of commerce. It's like, you know, we're not a cartel. We're not busting our door. We're not like.
Which is funny. You get rid of these things, and who's making money is the cartels. Which is exactly what we're doing. Like the joke is that it's like, oh, hey, it's black market basil.
You know what? We should do one about this. We could literally do a show about the things that I've experienced these last that everyone, not just me, that everyone has experienced these last few months, just on the misinformation. I mean, the crazy claims, the outdated policy. I mean, it's been insane. And I think we've made a little bit of history. So depending on how things do go, we might have to talk. We might have to have a little spin-off. So you know, just do something about that. Because
that'd be awesome.
I know one thing that's cool about this audience is we are as like stoner. I hate to use that as cannabis people. We're desperate for like actual entertainment. You know. I don't want to just watch YouTube videos of people rip bongs or like doing like crazy stuff, because I don't totally agree with the image of that. And also like, that's only so funny for so long.
What a terrible stereotype.
And you know? I don't like, there's not even smoking on the show. Like I've made a point to kind of try to get away from some of that, even though it's part of it. But I know people are going to like YouTube and stuff and these private or individual, not indie, independent people that are making these projects. And I think there's a huge gap for stuff like this where you're not going to get flagged because you're not talking about anything nefarious. You're not talking about weed. It's basil, it's cilantro. You know? It's like, it's clean, but people understand it and then they can relate to the story. I think there's a huge gap for stoner comedy, but like you said, still drama, still crime, still like all that stuff that people really like. So I'm excited to like really get into this and watch this grow, because I think this is going to take off. I think this is going to be something cool. Man. So honored to bring it to this audience for sure.
We're stoked to be on, bro. So thanks for having us on.
For sure. So it's a series, multiple episodes.
I like to tell people we're working on a series, but we also have a series of short films in addition to the series.
Very busy.
It's a lot, which we'll dig into when we talk about the showcase.
Okay, right on. So this is something I'm dying to know, especially going through building a podcast, building a platform, building a show. How do you, as an independent, fund these projects? How do you have so much time and have so many irons in the fire?
You get people like Sheila.
The word is painfully. That's how you do it. No, so I think before I met them, they had started a crowdfunding campaign. Our executive producer, Amado de Hoyos, helped us out tremendously. Where they felt short, they dumped their savings account, both of them, into it just to meet the bare minimum to be able to feed the crew, secure like very, very basic gear at the time, and then to also secure minimal locations. When I came on board, it was like, we have no money for anything. And so you, as a producer, you have to make it work. Like that's just your job. You figure out a way. If you have to tweak things, let some things go, pull every favor from every friend you've ever known all at once, or reach out to the folks who've asked about working with you in the future. Like, let me know if you ever need XYZ. You say, hey, I need that now. I'll get you next time. And I'm still like paying other people back, working on their projects or helping them out with their stuff. And because of that, just that community that I've been blessed to know and grow with over the last 7-8 years, they have, their friends and their film family as well. We kind of all came together. It was literally like a village working on this project.
It takes a village for sure.
Yeah, it takes a village. Yeah. I think I brought like at least half the crew on board. They had worked as far as meeting the director of photography on different projects, or met them at film festivals. And just like who you know is how you get it done. Right. Where we fell short, again, where money was concerned, was a whole other ballgame as far as reaching out to local businesses. Like, we're trying to do this. We're all indie. We're all local. Yeah. Would you be willing to sponsor us for a day's worth of food? And after I don't even know how many dozens, up into the hundreds of cold calls, emails, showing up, knocking on doors, we got Whataburger donated for an entire day to the entire crew. We got Golden Chick donated tea, which is great.
Right on.
We had Torchy's Tacos donate chips and queso on one day, so that was a wonderful snack. We had
full circle home slice.
Home slice, where they, discovered this idea. They donated.
Drop that ball. They
donated.
Don't tell anybody about the baby.
They donated a bunch of pies to our wrap party. Right?
Oh, Beyond Pompeii. That was another one.
Oh, that was Beyond Pompeii too.
Home Slice did it. It was the last day of shooting.
The last day of shooting, and then Beyond Pompeii donated pies. And then he had worked with a whole bunch of breweries on a different series, and he reached back out to them. And we had over 600 cans of beer donated
for our wrap party.
To our wrap party.
Yeah.
Right on.
A wrap party totaling like 40 people. We had 600 cans of beer.
Every other little thing we went to, like Halloween, Christmas, it's like, hey, don't worry, I got the beer.
We will bring the beer.
Couldn't get rid of it fast enough. Man.
We'll bring the basil. We'll bring the beer. Dude. No, but yeah, so it really was like not just our friends, our film family, the people we owed favors to, vice versa. It was also like Austin.
Right.
Mom and pop shops, local businesses. And so we made what could easily be considered like a $50,000, $60,000 short film with only $15K.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and a lot of favors and a lot of owing people in return. So,
well, I think also people see a creative thing get out there, like a project. They don't think about all the steps it actually takes, and then a lot of those things do cost money.
Mm-hmm.
Everything costs money,
and creatives are not always good at that part.
That's
too.
where the real creative comes out. You're like, if you can turn that into that with that kind of money,
selling it.
That's really that's smart.
Yeah, and I will say too, going forward, it's like that was for one episode. Right. We don't want to do that for every single episode. We were killing ourselves. We also don't want to continue to like ask, plead, beg, borrow from the community, from our friends for every single episode. And so we are seeking We are seeking investors for future episodes so we don't have to kill ourselves to try to meet that goal every single time. So we have a lot of plans. So
yeah. Why? So, okay, when you're in these conversations, what do you think gets people over the line to invest in something like this? Like, what's the sell? What's the stickiness?
Two things: the story and the people behind the story.
Okay.
And so they are all about the story. They wrote it, they created it, they are literally acting it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, the mama or the weird wife of the group. I'm the Basil Queen of the group, thusly dubbed. Kind of taking an HR/PR stance from it and reminding people like there are real people working on this. It's not just a comedy. It's not just a parody. It's not just about Basil. It's about very, very real stories that happen to people every day. Like, why are these characters in this story so flawed? It's funny to laugh at because one's like a narcissist and he's so brutal and he's rude and he bosses everybody around and he treats them like actual shit. And then another one is so emotionally attached to everything and everyone he sees. He's like too loyal in some cases. He will literally do whatever anybody tells him to do. And then the third just like kills anything in sight, right? And it's like talking about those characters, like why are they flawed? What got them there? How was that trauma written into the story? And all of us as creatives, we go through shit in our lives that, lead us to these stories.
A lot of it comes from too, a lot of like, what do you want to see, right? It's like, oh, hey, people we're at a time where a lot of the stuff was getting pushed back. It was like, it was too much or people were just I wouldn't say too sensitive because it's not the right word.
Well, we were
but it
going
was
through
just-
the cancel culture.
Right. We were
Yeah.
just, everything was, it was clout at the time. Everyone's just like, oh, well, since that's bad, this must be bad. But
Right.
you're like, it's still kind of funny, right? So it's just like, there's still things that are funny about this. And you're like, you can't just like up and just tell people like it's not funny anymore. I mean, and they're still like laughing at it. And I don't want people like to feel bad for not laughing at it. And that's where a lot of people like see this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, like, yeah, I've been wanting to like laugh at stuff like that for the longest time, but I didn't know if it was okay. And it's like, yeah,
And I think
come
that-
join us.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem too, especially with comedy nowadays. It's like it's so hard to say. Every time I ask them, I was like, what was the best comedy you've seen in a while? And I don't know. It's been years. A lot of people. It's like in a lot of the comedies that do come out, they essentially get right to streaming. There's no theatrical release, and so it's like in a lot of the comedies we do see, it's so forced humor. It's like you guys are trying so hard not to offend anybody, but comedy is. It's supposed to be comedy. You're not sitting here trying to like, what do you think is funny, and create that. Like, don't sit here and say like, and if somebody doesn't like it, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I don't have to watch it.
Very
It's-
subjective. Very subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other people, but if you think it's funny, odds are other people will agree.
Yeah.
I think it's funny too.
Yeah.
That's been the craziest thing about putting out content is people are like, you know what, I totally fucking agree. Or they're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You should stop making content. You're the worst thing on earth. And
Well,
I'll
and
take
everybody
both
will say
because-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you're talking about me. So
No.
Yeah. You're still watching though. You're watching the whole thing.
watch me fail. I bet you won't.
Well, and people
watch
will
me.
say that about everything. There
Yeah,
are people
true.
that love and
Yeah.
hate every single thing they watch. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
I just think the value too is there's just is such a big gap, and I think I am like the type, as you can see from this, like I wanted to do this, and I'll be damned. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a gap. I think there's a need. I just want to do it. I can do it. I get the network to do it, and I'll find a way. But I think like I'm all for people. I know you were like you guys are not owned yet, but I'm all for like owning it and making it work for small in order to keep the control long term and then the long term benefits. Because like with YouTube, the way it's going, I mean, you can really develop a religious audience almost, every week or every single time you put out, and then continue to grow that over time for any series you want to do.
And that's the thing too. It's like now,
But I know it's expensive.
It still costs money.
That's
Well,
good to know.
and- logistics
and that's the
people
thing
and-
too. Is like a lot of it's like even when we talk about like streaming services, like of course, like it'd be great to go on Netflix, but then again, it's like you see what Netflix is doing now, and they're just putting out content to put out content, regardless if it's good or not.
Right.
I think Apple's doing a good job. They're putting out really good content and more so focusing on the quality versus quantity. But then again, it's like you also look at YouTube. There's that whole market you can literally monetize off of and make more money than being a part of any streaming service. So there's just different routes that you can go about it, and still be successful. Because it's like, especially the movie industry nowadays, where it's like the big time studios are falling flat on their face.
Yeah.
I was gonna
There's
say
no
that
rules
too.
anymore at this.
That's
to
what I was
this,
saying.
yeah.
There's a gap because like I think also there's just a lack of in Hollywood, and people just like we're over that. Give me something new. And then with YouTube, it's like you have almost instant access, and it's just endless. It's not like the cable where it's like, oh, only pay for 30 channels.
Yeah, and then everyone's got
it's- you can do
a
whatever you
camera
want.
in their pocket too. They can
Yeah.
create their own shit at any given time.
Yeah.
It's like
That's where it gets hard. Is that it's such an influx of content too now.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay.
Yeah, cut through a lot of noise.
But like you're saying, it's just like people find what they want to see and they start clinging to it. It's like, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm a Trailer Park Boys fan.
yeah.
Hey,
See?
you'll love this then.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited. Yeah, I think it's the same. It's like you can just create your own world, and you can kind of like spin off and have these characters and these different. I love owning your own shit. I think like I had somebody else come on the show in its very early stages, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm working with all these companies or production companies and trying to sell this show to people." And what he was trying to do was like basically just drive around and film farms and visit people and go to cannabis events. And I'm like, dude, you got a car? You got a phone?
Yeah.
Run it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's having a time of his life, bro.
like, yeah, because at least you'll learn like that there is somewhere to take this. Like you'll own all that. You're not just trying to sell it to people to put their ideas. And that was what he said was his problem. Like all these ideas flow in like of other people who had nothing to do with it from the start. They weren't at the restaurant like, whoa, basil's a good, that's expensive. And then like just steamroll. They just were like, oh no, well, this part is stupid. And they put in their own idea. So, I think that's all old school. I don't even pay for Netflix or anything anymore. So I hope you guys don't get on Netflix because I won't fucking watch it because I'm not paying.
I don't have Netflix either, man. Because it becomes like a cable now. I'm like, yo, I have like 4 or 5 of these apps. I'm like, like this is like channels now.
And I think the only thing that I like watch Netflix at this point are like their documentaries are fun, man. Like their documentaries. I'm like, anytime I'm like, all right, what do I want to watch? And well, then like Tires just came out. Which,
Tires is gold.
Yeah, so that I still got to watch the second season, but like there's little things here and there. I'm like, okay, I'll watch that, but it's like the one show, right? Versus all the other shit that they're throwing on.
And
there,
I don't want to. Yeah, so I like that aspect. I love the way that the things are changing, and then I'm consuming a lot of YouTube now, so I'm like implementing a lot of things.
And those are your algorithms too.
Algorithms, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's all getting better. I see that to be like so much more valuable to me, even though it's free. I already can pay for YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is not an ad for YouTube, so whatever.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, but that's I love like talking to people who. That's another thing. It's the Texas Growers Podcast. To grow hemp or cannabis in Texas is a very monumental thing. There's a lot of things against you, from the environment to the society to the government, as we've seen. Yeah. It's not easy. It's an underdog story. And I like talking to people who are just going to execute. It doesn't really matter how much friction or steps are in the way. It's just we see the end goal and we just want to execute and get there. And so that's kind of like my next question. What is the end goal for Basil King, like the show? Where do you see it? When do you think it's successful? Like, when can you say like this is a success in there or a hit?
When we finish the story, honestly. It's like
the bar's low. No.
yeah, the bar's very low, but it is like we just finished one season, and now we're all thinking about the second season. Because we still have things that we want to say, things that we want to do, and it's just like too. Like I said, it's kind of the world around us too. So it's like, it's until you're tired of like talking about all these like things that are happening around the world that it's like, we can make fun of that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is just like, I think with Basil King, especially, it's like, we have fun doing it. And it's like, Sheila mentioned that we are doing essentially our, big budget TV series, which features the pilot episode. And then we have our shorts that we're doing, which is essentially like our YouTube series, which is the low to no budget. Like, what can we do and still make the content within the universe? So it's like, all right, well, and I talked to Castro about this too, where it's like, hey, like we're trying different avenues here. It's like, hey, we're doing the YouTube stuff, and then we're also trying to shoot for the stars here and try to get it picked up. But it's like, either one can hit, one can miss. It's like, but still, we're trying these different avenues and seeing what's going to work or not. It's like the same thing with, I don't know if you've seen High Maintenance.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it started off as a YouTube series.
That's one of the best.
And then it got picked up.
The YouTube stuff is like the best stuff. Like, and then we talk about it too. It's about attention span, right? So it's just like, I can watch like a 10-minute video fine, but like a 30-minute video, I'm just like, I'm on my phone, there's things happening, and I'm just like,
they're running ads.
Yeah, exactly. So it is kind of like that stuff too, where we're trying to get to kind of all people on the,
Yeah.
And I think where we're at right now, I think what we've been doing, I think I can consider it successful. Yeah. Like what we're doing and what we've been accomplishing and the community that we've been building with the series. It's like, we're enjoying doing it. People see that we enjoy doing it. They want to be a part of it. And it's like, I think that alone is something to be excited about.
Totally.
So,
yeah. I mean, how many people that are making movies and stuff?
Yeah.
It's super interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's a niche. It's super, super interesting. And like, it's fascinating to me, especially just coming in here now, like seeing all the inner workings of everything. I've been on like some like movie set, TV set stuff. Like I see that. It's very fascinating, but it's a lot of work, it's not easy. It's not a point and shoot situation, the way that people think it is. So I definitely admire you guys for that. And to get a creative idea from one idea when you're going through the
pizza.
Eating pizza.
These prices are ridiculous.
To a finished, episode or a product is not anything to scoff at. It's a serious feat. So props to you guys for doing that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you guys get into this? Like, let's back that up too, because that's something that I wanted to ask. Because did you were you guys always like in theater and acting and or communications and all this stuff? Like, did you just like start doing it like as a hobby?
Well, for me, I met Taylor. We used to work at Alamo Draft House, and so like this was like probably COVID, right?
Well, I mean, we met in 2017,
right? But like when we started doing like film stuff.
So it was COVID.
Yeah, so
during the Jimmy stuff.
Yeah, we were just kind of working out one time. He's like, "Hey man, I'm doing these like beer connoisseur things," and he's like, "Would love to like have you on set just to like help out or help me like come up with ideas." And so it was like little by here, I started learning about it, and we're like, "Oh yeah, I kind of like this, and I want to make more content and like more stuff that we laugh at."
Had you been doing that before?
No. So yeah, so this is
holy shit.
So this is like, again, it's one of those things you kind of. I feel like that's all of this industry is. Sometimes you find these avenues and they open up and just like, hey, yeah, let me just learn as much as I can and like hopefully something comes out of it.
Especially this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've had my production company, Satirical Productions, for over a decade now. I'm originally from Indiana, so I did a bunch of films out there. Then moved here in 2017, and
welcome to Texas.
Hey. Yeah, it's been great, dude. That's the thing. It's just like just like the community and everything here has just been very rewarding. But it's like, yeah, man, just hopping into it, especially growing up as a musician, and it's like switching over to filmmaking full time, or at least pursuing that full time. It's like, man, doing that. We did the Jimmy Arcurio stuff, where essentially my character was a beer connoisseur from Chicago, and he talked about all the little craft beers on the market today, and that's how we got so many. I know guys like well, I mean, that whole thing spawned like all the brewery partnerships that we're able to get so much free stuff for the rap party. But it was we did that because it's like during COVID we're getting paid to stay at home, and it's like a lot of people were scared, and they have their right to be, and but then again, a lot of it's just the media fear mongering bullshit. And it's like, when are we ever gonna get this time where it's like we can just be home, we're getting paid to stay home, have all this time to just create. Let's fucking
create.
I
know so many people who created crazy stuff out of COVID.
Dude, Tom Cruise did it.
Yeah.
it's insane, dude. It's just like, it just sparked so much things. So it's like everyone's like, oh, it was such a rough time. I was like, honestly, I fucking loved it, dude. Yeah. It was like, I was like, yeah, like, like everyone has their own experience, but like it spawned so much creativity that, we ended up working with our director of photography, Chico. We did like 12 episodes of Jimmy and minor spinoff things here, but we did 12. The last episode we did was like our big budget short of the series, and it was about shopping cart racing. And it was the whole shtick with shopping cart racing, very rebel without a cause meets F1 Drive to Survive. And so you can find it online if you want to check it out. Rebel Without a Beer.
Award winning.
It is award winning. But we ended up meeting, I met Sean through Chico, who plays Bobby, which is the third Goomba of Basil King. We met him through that episode, and he never had any really acting experience until he hopped on there. But the dude's just a fucking natural.
And
it was just
He's a character in his own right.
And it was just the camaraderie. It was like instant chemistry with all of us, and like he played my character's rival on that Jimmy on Rebel Without a Beer, and it was like, man, it was such an interesting thing. And then we're like, all right, let's do something different. We learned what we could from there. Let's try something different with Basil King. So with Basil King, we're like, all right, let's market this thing for a year and a half before we even shot the pilot episode. Yeah. So like we had all that shit involved, and we brought Sheila on last year, April. It was February, March of last year, and we're like, hey, this is what we got going on right now, and Sheila came on and kind of took the reins of it and really helped push it.
Yeah, the wheels started running. Like, for sure. Like with Taylor and I, we were just like, yeah, this is the way we go, right?
For sure.
And you're just like, oh yeah, someone who at least has like done this a few times, like, oh yeah, let's do this. And you're like, that helps out so much.
Well, I would say it was at a different, I don't know, capacity. It was a different mountain than you guys had climbed with Jimmy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So it's not like you couldn't do it or you hadn't done it before, but maybe not to that.
Yeah, not in that extent. Yeah.
Damn. So you basically jumped into it.
I feel like it feels like a fantasy adventure sometimes when you're just like, hey guys, we're gonna go throw this ring in the pit of like the pit. You want to come with? And they're like, yeah.
Well, then she's got a master's in music.
Oh yeah, I fell into the film industry because of music, actually. So I think it was like a random Facebook message I got from this Ukrainian filmmaker who's like, you have lots of music and no music video. I make music video for you. And I'm like, whoa. But also at the time, I had a master's degree that felt very worthless because it's like, who's going to hire a classical flautist in Austin? No one.
A Jethro Tull cover band. That's about it. Small market.
Teeny tiny gigs. Yeah. The chance of me getting the next, lead flute or first position flute chair in the Austin Symphony or the New York Phil, it's like 0.001%. I have a bigger and better chance of becoming a Hollywood actress than I do of becoming a professional classical flautist. And I was like, you know what? Who cares? Why not? And I go and I meet this Ukrainian filmmaker, and he's like, just like full of life, full of gusto. He's like, let's make music videos. And we made 3, and I'm like, this is wild. Like the way, a set works, the way a film crew works, the lighting, the camera work, the background extras, the props, the set deck. Having to feed everybody. What job do you ever work where your job is like, oh my God, we got to feed everybody? Yeah. I'm like, people get fed to work? Like, damn. So it fascinated me. And then a different director I met on one of the music videos, her name was Lisa Belcher. She's like doing big things now. She has a film coming out this fall nationwide in theaters. She invited me onto a competitive filmmaking project called the 48-Hour Film Project, where you write, rehearse, direct, shoot, edit, compose a film in less than 2 days from start to finish. And so she asked me to come on board as like, a songwriter, composer. I wrote a song with my band partner at the time in less than 6 hours, and they loved it so much that they replaced all of the dialogue in the film with the song. So it was like a silent film essentially. Wow. And everybody was like, holy shit, you could do that? Like, oh, can you write music for can you do a theme song for my film? And I'm like, yes, this is great. I just love the way the set flows. It's like very much like an orchestra where you have all these pieces and everybody has a very different job. And if everybody's not good at their job or they don't do it in the right order at the right time, all in sync and understanding each other and under time crunch and time restraints, the final product is awful. Right. But if it's all harmonious and everybody works together and the vibe is good and the energy is good, like it was on Basil King, the end result is masterful. And it's just like I fell into it. I never once in my life thought, oh, I want to be an actress or I want to be a filmmaker. Or I want to be a producer. Never once. It just happened. And I think that passion and that energy, especially like because I did competitive filmmaking for about 3 years and just like the challenge of it is what drives me the most. And Basil King was a very big challenge, still is a very big challenge. So I think that's what keeps us thriving.
Yeah, it's hard, low talent.
Yeah.
No, I just meant challenges in like, we don't stop. It's like, okay, we wrapped this. And it's like, what's next? Well, we literally just wrapped. Yeah, but I'm already writing the next thing. Like, can we have like a week off?
No, you said it right there. It's all about the passion, right? It's like, oh, you still have people that like want to do this and like keep going, and you're like, oh yeah, that's like, I'll do it for free. I don't care. Like I just want to get my acting skills up. And you're like, yeah.
You have a lot of hungry people in Austin as well who like see what we're doing and see that we're serious. We're building a brand and a community. It's not just another short film or it's not just another series, another web series. It's like we're serious about it. The amount of time and energy I've put into the social media alongside Taylor is like, we're making something. Why would we not tell the world about it? That is one of like the biggest wastes in my mind is I see so many filmmakers, they put so much time and energy and money and they separate from their families and they take time off their day jobs to make a film and you never hear about it. You never see it. And it's like, what was the point? You might as well go outside and be like, hey, world, watch my film. Because that's like the same amount of views you're going to get on your film unless you promote it. And that's what we do on social media. And that's why, it's reaching people.
I wish more people would listen to that. Seriously. It's difficult. these days people expect you to be vocal almost, and then I know a lot of people that are incredibly talented and they just don't market. They don't say anything, whether they're musicians or they are growers, entrepreneurs, and they're very good. They don't. Nobody knows them.
Yeah.
They're missing that drive to be like, okay, I'm going to tell the world about what I can do. Or they're missing that confidence. It's just like, I don't want to come across as cocky. And I'm
cocky.
Like, what? But nobody knows you
some
exist.
Shit is
so.
cool. Like, that's why I told people, I'm like, you ever think that it's just badass though?
Yeah.
It probably is the stigma mostly. You're just like looking at it and you're like, oh, I don't want to be this person. But you're like, you're looking at that person. So you're like, yeah, you do want to be that person.
Like, I just know people that are so talented, and sometimes in things that I end up getting into and I end up doing, but I'll just run my mouth off more. And so people think that like I'm this expert, and I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I'm not really this expert. There's other people way better than me. You should I'll introduce you to them. And it's oftentimes like just the people, of course you have to be talented, but sometimes the people who you see, people get mad because the people on the top of the world were just average, but they just marketed and just didn't shut up. And then you're the most talented, but you're quiet. Nobody knows about you.
Yeah, there's this saying I like to revert to every now and then. It's not just about brains. It's not just about brawn. It's also about the brilliance.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the strongest or the best at what you do. But if you shine at all, that's how you stand out. People are drawn to brilliance more than they're drawn to smarts or brawn.
I feel that. That's powerful. I feel that. That's powerful.
I told you we're getting deep on this.
Clip that.
It's true though. I mean, I really wish people in my network and stuff, a lot of people are talented out there. I wish they would even come on this show and tell their story. Just start somewhere, and
everyone's got something to say for sure.
Because the passions infects people. Like just y'all talking about Basil King, I'm like, let's go shoot an episode. Let's go. Let's go now, dude. But I think that's just something that will always be there.
That's a good one. Basil King goes to Congress. And he's like, we're just like, we gotta sell this shit.
This is a cool thing that we actually have at our disposal here. There are a lot of people in this industry now, especially that are cannabis adjacent, or their persona or character is like a stoner and stuff, and they have these followings. So I really believe injecting some of the people in the network into some of the shorts or into some of this, just quick, oh, he's the guy at the counter and he says one liner that's funny or some shit. And then that influencer or that person, that character can be like, hey guys, I was in Basil King season 2 episode whatever, and push it, and it'll be a whole thing. I have all those people. I literally know all those people, so I'll get you those people. There's this one guy, Dale Stoner. He's just really talented, very funny, very just if you told me hey, here's a pen and paper, I want you to draw what you think a modern day stoner, especially in Texas, would be, I would literally draw this guy. It would be him. He has the look, he has the appeal, the persona, the mannerisms, everything. And he's a riot, and he's doing stand up now. He's getting on Kill Tony. He's getting out there. And there's a lot of
Basil King.
He's going to be on Basil King. There's a lot of other people out there like that too. that I just think again, in the spirit of everybody kind of owning up to owning everything, but then being in that community and bringing people in, you can collab or cross with the different audiences that these people are working hard to create. And a lot of these people are, they're trying to do acting, they're trying to do comedy. And so it's you might discover talent, they might discover a new passion, and it might all work out. And that spirit of, it takes a village. Just add more people in.
And you find your niches too, like you're saying. We find the people that this person looks perfect for this role. Yeah. So it's just because they're in this world that they live in. So you're just
well, Dale Stoner, for example, I'll give him another shout out. He's on an episode coming up. Don't worry. He already does stuff where he's the bud tender. So he already does parody reels and stuff on a regular basis where he's the bud tender, and it's a weird, funny scenario, and they're just getting tons of hits. And he just has a persona. It's
he has it down.
Yeah. It's when you go to a bar, it's if that bartender is going to be good, or if they're fresh out of high school and never drank in their life, if you can trust it or not.
It's the realism too. You have somebody cleaning a glass. Why is he just cleaning that one glass?
Trying to look busy.
Mix it up, man.
Yeah, dude. So, okay, what's up with the next? What's you guys some events coming up? We can talk about that. You guys can get your plugs in. What's coming up? Because there's a lot of big things coming for Basil King. I want you guys to, in the spirit of bragging and strutting your stuff.
It's all honestly coming like whirlwind. I don't know if you want to go down the line, but we've got 3 film festivals and then a film and music showcase that we are producing. I'm hosting. Do you want to go down the line? I'm trying to think of the order.
I mean, the next, all right. So I guess
we were just at Comedy Fest. So.
We were just at the Comedy Fest, or the Comedy Film Festival here in Austin. That's where we first publicly showed the pilot episode, which was a great time. My buddy Eric is the festival director over there, and second year doing it. And it's always a fun time, and they're just going to keep getting bigger and better.
And we won Best Directing.
Ooh, we won Best Director on that. And first festival we get into is also the first award, which was interesting. And so then coming up next, we have Dances with Films. So
LA.
There's
2.
Yeah, there is. There's one in New York and one in LA. So Dances with Films LA. It's huge. I don't know if you don't know anything about Dances with Films. They've been around for like 28 years. They pride themselves on helping indie filmmakers getting distribution, getting investments. And so that's the biggest thing that we're stoked about, because we got rejected from like every LA festival that we submitted to, including LA Comedy. They were like, I was like, that was the one festival. I was like, a comedy festival. Like I would think they would be into it, but apparently not. And then Dances with Films, they're a pretty prestigious festival, and it's going to be held at the Chinese Theater in LA. And we get to show Basil King at the Chinese Theater in LA, which is insane. And so it's a great opportunity for us. And there's like 9 of us from the Basil King cast and crew flying out there and spending like 5 days out there to not only, and we're not even just taking in LA and taking in the festival, but it's like, it's a perfect time to network, perfect time to get things going. So that's what we got coming up this month.
Yeah. And then immediately, that same weekend, so we got into PopCon. We can't be in 2 places at once sort of thing. And PopCon's cool. It's like the premier pop Comic-Con of Indy, right? Indianapolis. And I'm bummed that it's happening the exact same weekend that we're screening at Dances with Films.
Some big stars coming through that too. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Like freaking what's her face from that 70s show.
Yeah.
She's going to be there. And I'm like, is she gonna see Basil King? Like, that's so cool. So that was a big official selection we just got. And then there's a local film festival here in Texas called Waco Indie Film Festival. And they're just like probably top 3 film festivals I've ever attended, because they go above and beyond to take care of indie filmmakers. They make an event out of every single day. They throw great parties. They have great food, great drinks, great camaraderie, and then the awards ceremony and brunch is always fun. But the content is always really high quality, really different, like stuff that you can't find on YouTube or stuff you can't find on any streaming services. It's real, raw, original, and really well-made short films. And we got into that. Or no, they do features too, right?
I think they do.
Really well-made indie films in general. So we got into that, and it's like, so that's not far from here. And then literally that same weekend also is our film and music showcase. And that's going to be basically a big, massive celebration and night of entertainment to give back to our cast and crew, but also to give back to the community, because any proceeds are going to the Hug Foundation for Mental Health Awareness and Prevention. I think they're located at UT, right?
Yep.
But that's just something I believe, like full circle, anything you get, you want to give back. Not just as an artist and a creative, like being thankful to the community around you and your city, your people, giving something back, being philanthropic or, raising money, whatever it is. But also that sense of us as creators, like how much we feel and how passionate we are, and how that can sometimes take us to really dark places because we don't feel worthy enough, or we feel like we'll never hit that level of success, or we'll never beat this person, or we'll never make the right amount of money, or we'll never approve our parents who don't really agree with our choice of or our line of work or whatever. It's
Sorry,
like
Mom.
all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom and dad think I am the Basil King.
you are. Yeah, and like whether you're an artist, a filmmaker, a musician, an actor, whatever, any type of creativity, we feel things for some reason so much harder because we have to be vocal about our feelings. And so they get amplified. And oftentimes the people that hurt the most and they need the most help from counseling, therapy, phone calls, hotlines, whatever, are artists and creatives. So making this event with them at the core of it and giving back to them to allow them to give back to other artists in Austin is just like, it's like a full circle thing.
Do you think that this city and its culture and the community plays a role in the success of Basil King and
Recently, yes. I have a feel like it's been like we've seen it grow from this little thing that was when we started Jimmy Arcurio, and how these festivals now, and they have like these showcases now, they're just like all coming to Austin. You got like all these actors that are building studios and stuff like now. So a lot of the culture and a lot of these people are coming in. And what I've liked so much about, working here is that everyone's so kind and like, like, let's get this done. Like, they're not like,
totally.
Yeah, where it's not like, I don't want to say like LA is bad because I've never worked in LA, but
I have. It's
so like you have people that have like, who've been through the ringer so much that they're just like, yeah, it's just another job to them. Or here
they're
it's like passion. Yeah.
They just have this like, been there, done that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like not our family.
Yeah, it feels like a family. You feel it. You feel like people that they want to be involved because we're having fun, and they see Taylor and I and Sean joking around. They're like, "These guys are having a great time." How can
I get in on that?
Yeah,
it's so interesting. Yeah, I cannot count how many people who've come up to me and be like, you guys didn't have a lot of money to work with, but the way you treated the crew and the way you honor them, like with big rap party or just like including people, inviting people, not just for Basil King stuff, but like when we had a green elephant Christmas party, we have little Halloween shindigs, we go to other filmmakers events and we invite people. Like it's like, show up with us. You are now part of our family. It's like that inclusivity and that just like feeling of belonging. I've had so many people say, I didn't make money on your film. You guys didn't have money to work with, and I was happy to work on your thing for free.
Totally.
Whereas I get paid a lot of money to work on this, and I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm making a film, I'm making a movie, but that experience was miserable.
Yep.
And it literally just feels like a job. It's my job. But this is creating, and I will come back anytime you want me. You just tell me when. That, like, to me, is big. It's so much bigger than just like we're making a movie. It's like we're building this community.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I would rather be, broke and enjoying what I'm doing than to be, wealthy and hate every second of it. So and I think like that's really important when you're creatives. You got to have a village. You got to have people buy in, and then it keeps the spark lit. Every time folks tell me, "Hey, I love your podcast," I'm like, "Sweet, I'll do another one." Run it, Paul.
Okay,
we got one viewer.
We'll go one more.
We got it.
Somebody's dad said they liked my podcast. Yeah, no, the community is crucial, man. I'm trying to do that here for the cannabis community, the hemp community. Trying to help people see they're not alone, and it's okay. It's okay to like.
That's a huge stigma to have. It's like when people are like, we were just talking about like stoners, this is the way you look and the way you are. And, there's just times I'm at work and it's like, yo, I'm smoking like we're tech bros, we come out and it's just like, dude, no one would even suspect that we're,
no.
You know what I mean? Like we just like, you would only know because we reek.
100%. People will tell me, they're like, I feel like you could just like walk down the road with a ton of weed blatantly, and like a cop would come up to you and you'd just be able to convince him that everything's kosher.
It's all good.
I'm like, yep, it's a gift. I'll share. It's all good. I'll share. I'll happy to lend it. It's my curse to bear there. But
well, I would say, speaking of your community and the people you meet, and you're trying to like tell them they have a home or they have a family to come to, bring them. Like, bring them to the showcase, because it's not just like screening these films in the Basil King world, which is like an hour of content we have at this point, and stuff they can laugh at, and these characters that are lovable and dumb and goofy and fun and cute. But simultaneously spotlighting the people, it's for a good cause. And a little plug to the Plug dispensary in San Antonio, they're going to be there. So we're literally partnering with,
I love it.
Yeah, with other members of...
For Basil, though, right?
Yeah, the Plug dispensary for Basil.
For Basil?
I'm telling you, the Basil
Only
business is
Basil?
booming.
Yeah. We know a little old lady. She's going to be selling basil plants.
Yeah, anybody... literally anybody in the Austin area... Come.
We're itching to always get together, so we love an excuse. And I mean, I think the community right now is hot because we all have a common enemy and a common obstacle right now, and I think that we want to try to continue that at all costs. So having things to latch onto or excuses to get out and get together, we love that. So I think this is a perfect time to introduce a lot of this scene from Austin and from Texas at large to
it's
what you guys
just
got
gonna be
going.
a fun night, honestly. Like, whether people want to look up Basil King or not, just going and watching a bunch of goofy films, seeing we have 3 live bands playing too. These are local Austin bands that contributed original music to the pilot episode to make it that much more authentic.
Any flute?
I should bring my flute and just jump up there and solo.
Like the Catalina wine mixer.
It's like all of us start crying. Yeah. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
I should just bring it.
But the most important thing, it's for charity, right? So it's just like, we're like doing this for like you.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like, it's like, even though it's like there's so many different things, it's like I meet so many different type of people in their different industries, right? And it's like, it's still like a lot of people I say, well, if I'm not meeting somebody in my particular industry, then why is it worth it to me? And it's like, you never know who that person's gonna know. You never know who that person can who they're gonna invite you to, and essentially you're creating this camaraderie as well. And it's like, there's so many different people I've met in all these different facets and all these different industries that are just like, they are beneficial in some sort of way. It's like everyone's trying to help each other out, and regardless if it's the same industry or not, there's always some avenue where you can help each other out. Yeah, and that's I think a lot of people should look at it that way more so. It's like because it's it's the same. It's the same with like the breweries and stuff that we did with Jimmy. Yeah. It's like it had it was a beer connoisseur thing. It was beer reviews, and then we started making skits out of them. But it's like we're filmmakers, using beer, and then eventually we became these developed these like relationships with these breweries. These local breweries, and it's like, and every time we need any help, we're like, hey, we're doing this thing, we're trying to celebrate our community and the people that were on part of this project, they want to help out too, and say, hey, here you go, here's some free alcohol.
What a great point too is like with the film community is that you can like branch out into those places that you're talking about. I think now everyone's just trying to get like some kind of, we were talking about YouTube, some kind of skit brand or like some kind of like, oh, I'm trying to sell my product, but I need to like catch the viewer somehow. And it's like, we're going to make a small like skit or like some kind of funny video to get it done. And like, you kind of get like these like, oh, I don't know any actors. Like I need actors now. And I need like film like guys that know how to do DPs and stuff.
I mean, it's like even like with the pilot as well as the shorts too. It's like we're helping local businesses. We're shooting at these different local businesses, which in turn is promoting them.
Dude, yeah.
And it's like
rising tides lifts all boats. Yeah. I think that's something that people don't understand sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah. But the ones that do, they really do. And it makes a huge difference to get something done. And like product placement and all that stuff, it fucking works.
Yeah, it
fucking works.
It works.
It was like a Wayne's World to start pulling up boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. Pepsi.
Party on.
So well.
Yeah.
454 Bags provides post-harvest products like oversized tote liners, trellis netting, turkey bags, and the all-new BioCure bags to help growers optimize their yields and preserve quality. 454 is releasing a superior bag for less than half the price of other brands. Choose 454 bags and you'll see why all the biggest names in cannabis trust their stuff. If you visit 454bags.com today and you use the code ColtonLuther420, you can get 10% off of your entire order forever. You can get subscriptions and you can use my code to get that 10% off every single time, not just on your first order. So check out 454 bags. We use them in the grow currently. We swear by them and they're the next best thing for post-harvest cannabis material.
How would somebody get involved in this? How would somebody get into this world, start acting and injecting themselves onto the camera big time?
I think the biggest thing is like, because we've come across a lot of people too that want to be a part of it, but like it's more so just
Wait, I thought you meant in general. You're talking specifically Basil King?
No, in general,
or just
yeah,
acting.
Either way.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say like, I mean, it's just like when it comes to like Basil King, I mean, then you can talk about in general, but like when it comes to like Basil King, it's like we've had so many people like, oh, I want to be a part of this, but it's like, it's like, hey, like we'd love to have you a part of it, but then again, it's like, it's all like just talk. Right. It's like, just support. We've had so many people that just like show up and support and be there through thick and thin, and it's like those are the people that we want to bring on. And we'll make a position, we'll make a role for you, whatever it may be, whatever creative quality that you have. We want to bring that in because we see that you support us, and it's like that speaks more volumes than just like commenting or messaging just like, hey, we love what you're doing. And it's like, you didn't come to the premiere, you didn't come to the showcase, you didn't come do this. It's like, I don't like, it's just hearsay, But
that's a great point. Like we kind of like went to these like showcases over and over again, and you keep going to these places where a lot of these these guys in the community at, and then you start. Last time we were at, was it that Dollars and Donuts premiere? You see these guys and I'm like, I love your guys' look. Like, I see these two guys like sitting in the corner. I'm like, I kind of want to build characters for y'all and like kind of like later on. But it's like, it is one of those things where it's like, I like your look. You're like totally what I'm looking for in this atmosphere right now. And it's like, do you want to act? Do you want to do this? So it's just crazy. You really just kind of have to keep going to these events and just hopefully, meeting people.
That's the biggest thing is just networking. Because I mean, like we're going like tomorrow, we're going to the ATX Short Film Showcase. Our buddy Justin has been doing this monthly showcase for like 4 years now. Every second Monday of the month in Austin, he does these showcases and he spotlights 8 Texas-made films. And it's like, it's packs out every time. It's at the Ballroom, Spider House. It's 29th Street Ballroom now. They keep changing it. But like, he's been doing this for like 4 years now. And it's just like, we've met so many people there, like our director, Daryl Della included. We met him there. Like we meet so many different people and so many amazing, talented filmmakers and musicians because they showcase music videos as well. So there's so much talent in this one room. It's like, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to break out into this. I want to do this. It's like the easiest thing you can do is just show up to festivals, show up to showcases. Yeah, inject yourself into it and like meet people. And it's like, there's some people that, I get it. Some people are introverted and they don't want to talk to people. I get it. But it's like, but like you have friends that are the extroverted that will help you meet people. You just got to, kind of break through that guard a little bit and throw yourself in there because it's just like, there's so many people that are wanting to collaborate, and it's all of a sudden it just be personal and meet people. That's all it comes down.
I want to add on though, because this is the producer's perspective, and I do a lot of casting and stuff like that. There's a whole other side too. You need that camaraderie, that community, that networking aspect. You've got to be bold and you got to put yourself out there. I want to add on also that you should want to learn the craft. Yeah. However you go about it. If it's YouTube videos, if it's watching content, if it's going to festivals and seeing what other local people are doing and learning from that, taking acting classes or filmmaking classes. Like if you're like, I want to be an actor, I beg of you, don't just go to networking events and assume like you will get cast and you will get a lead role and you will be good at it, because you will be wasting that production's time. And more than likely also their money, and also the producer and the assistant director's patience. You'll be wasting all of that. Instead, like want both sides, want to learn, want to be good at it, and want to network and show up and support. because I cannot tell you how many times I get hit up and like, oh my gosh, I just met this actress. She's so beautiful. She's never acted before, but I can tell you she's going to be amazing. She's so sweet. She's so hardworking. She's come to my last 6 film festivals. And I'm like, okay, like, let me meet her. Oh, and she wants you to also write and direct and produce this film that she's going to star in. And I'm like, whoa, so there's a but. Yes, you need that.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like a lot of people, a lot of actors especially will wait for the opportunity. My life's motto is like, don't wait for it, create the opportunity.
Yeah, make your own content too.
Make your own content. Because at that point, you're not going to, you can sit there and audition for roles and hope to get them and blah, blah, blah. But if you're creating your own content, not only are you creating stuff for your own personal reel, but you're getting that practice and the reps.
It's the practice.
You start getting that point. I mean, like most of my resume and reels are my own fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's mostly a lot of my films. And then at that point, it's like, hey, I got this nice reel. It's like, yeah, a lot of it's my own shit. But then it's, on top of that, like you throw it out there, you start networking with people, then they want you to be a part of their films. And it's like, it's this cycle,
That's exactly what it is too. It's just like, I'm new to it, right? So I'm a new actor. So like, I had to dig in and like learn as like from like the greats as much as possible. And then when you finally like started putting, like I was an introvert and like, you start learning to like be on camera and start like, okay, this is just like, okay, I need to turn my face this way. Okay, now I need to do this now. Like, you start learning like these little like techniques and like, okay.
But being open to that learning is crucial.
Yeah,
right.
If like, I can't tell you how many people I'm like, you'd make a great character. And then on camera, they freeze. And it's useless. Everybody, the entire crew, you're wasting everybody's time. And you don't want to use somebody's film and somebody's mind child and somebody's $30,000-$40,000 to find out if you're good at acting. It's like what he was saying, create your own content, show up to things, but also practice the craft. Like, you are good as Jeffrey Basil's because you work on it. You learn your lines, you know your shit, you're very open and malleable when it comes to stuff like improv. Like you're flexible and easygoing and you'll feed off of other people. You can't teach somebody that. It comes with practice. It comes with working on other projects. It comes with watching movies. You watch movies like nobody else I know. And that's literally part of the process, is taking in stuff. And it's like a process for the brain to like, this is what I need to do. This is what looks good on screen. That's what I have to do too. So no matter which way you go about it, you have to have that dedication to that and be open to learning, be open to growing as well.
It's funny that you say like the movie stuff, because you're like, man, I've been doing this I've been learning my whole life. All I had to do is implement it.
I just gotta do it.
Yeah,
I love that. I've learned that lesson so many times. I'm definitely interested in learning all of it. I don't necessarily want to be an actor or any of that stuff. Like as far as I'm the star, I want to know all of the ins and outs of everything.
Show up on our next set. Like, why not?
I would love to do that. I'll definitely do that. And
just soaking it in is like, just to see how it goes, behind the scenes, as we say.
I would love to do that.
Everyone has their own department. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, for like the smaller stuff, like the short, the low budget stuff, like, we've like the first 2 shorts were very skeleton crew. Then our most newest short, which is going to be the world premiere at our showcase, Basil King presents Casting Couch, and you let your mind wander and do whatever it wants. But like, but yeah, so like we had like a huge crew in there. It was never meant to be that. It was skeleton crew, but then we had so many people that wanted to be a part of it and just be there. And like we had this like, it turned to be like
32-person casting crew.
Yeah, and
we were going to start with like 7.
Yeah, and so like it built into this big giant crew, and then it's like man, and then at that point everyone has their own department. G&E has their own department. You got the camera department. Like everyone has their own thing. And it's like especially when we did all the pre-production for the pilot, especially we had probably like 30 to 40 crew.
35.
Okay, 30. Yes, you got it. 35 on crew. We had all these people, so it's like we did the pre-production. We put all this work into pre-production, and it was hard. It was, we had a lot of hurdles that we got through. We got through them, and then we got to set. And I'm just like, especially since we're all producers on it, we get to set, and we're also now we got to act and perform, and now it's like okay, but then it's like all right, I'm also come from Indiana where most of the stuff I've worked on is very skeleton crew, so I'm like wearing multiple hats. Same with Basil King, but it's like when we got on set for the pilot, I was like, okay, what can I help with? Everyone's like, no, don't worry about it. I got it. And it's like, so I can just act. I can just act. Hell yeah.
But I think that is like the best way to learn. Is just like you got to make it yourself.
Yeah, you just
have
to
get in there, pick up a camera, and then like start if that's what you want to do, and just start filming yourself doing the things you want to do.
Well, also not to plug the showcase again, but the 60 plus minutes of content we're sharing is not just these short films, and it's not just the pilot episode. We are sharing 2 or 3 behind the scenes videos of the crew doing their thing. So literally the camera is just on the crew as they're working the whole time. Wow. It's like 10 minutes worth of that. We're sharing these tiny skits they did for TikTok and, IG Reels, very goofy things that were $0 and it was just like this, right? And you'll see a wide range of what being a filmmaker is. Stuff you'd see on YouTube versus stuff you would see on Netflix versus stuff you'd see at Dances with Films and these prestigious film festivals. You're going to see it all in a nutshell. And then you go into that showcase, you get to meet all these people that were in there, talk to them and be like, what makes you click? What makes you tick?
Yeah.
Is it something you want to jump into, or just like go and hang out with us at our next set and just see like, what is the vibe?
Yeah. No, I love that. I wish more people understood that. Like, just fucking go get it. Just go to execute, go do it. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Like, definitely I've learned that lesson many times, and I've come across people that try to do business deals or even something as simple as plan a vacation. And there's just like lack of execution. Yeah. Typically.
We spent a whole time at Chili's the whole time.
We didn't even talk business. What the hell?
Or even worse, you don't even get to go to Chili's. It's on fucking Zoom. Right? Phone call. It's like, thanks for wasting 3 hours.
Dipper, though.
Thank you for wasting my time. But yeah, like that's how I landed here, man. I did this shit with my iPhone.
Yeah.
And I hit up Matt at Soundshed and I was like, hey, here's what I got. And I'm going to keep doing it if you tell me no, but I would really, really like to try this in a studio. And he was like, yeah, show up. And then after that first time, I was like, holy shit, I have a podcast now. Like, there's no going back. Once you see it, like, once you see your idea, like, complete, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
New drug unlocked. Like,
there's something to say about that, too. Like, you just, like, taking your phone and, like, learning the craft and, like, being creative of finding the ways yourself to do it. And then all of a sudden, you're like, people show up and like do something like I would have never thought to do that. That's really smart.
I got fucking tired of doing it for other people. I got tired of building people an empire and an audience or the spaceship to get them to the moon and them be like, yeah, it was all me. It's like I don't.
That sounds like a lot of what a producer has to go through.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a thankless job.
It's a thankless job.
And it is a necessary job, but people don't know you exist.
Well, that's really what my real business was. That was like being a producer, a director for these people who, for professionals, people who are trying to get their message, their content, their brand, their business out there to the masses, go viral, get leads, sell stuff, and. Yeah, it was just a thankless thing. And then I finally broke through here with Soundshed and with the YouTube thing. And I'm like, man, for the last year, I've been dwindling down on things for others and just doing things for myself. Because like, if I can go spend 3 hours on a client, like, fuck that. I'm going to go 3 hours at Soundshed. I'm going to do it for me and keep owning that process, keep executing, keep getting to the next level. And then people fall into place on that, the next
the
guest.
stuff follows you from there.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes that execution. You just got to tip the scales for yourself a little bit and you'd be surprised where all that ends up. It's you
crazy. Never know if you don't try it, right? So it's like
you
already lost.
You don't know if you
didn't try.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of important messages to this from you guys. So thanks. And I think there's a lot of interesting things to come for Basil King, and I think that it fits such an interesting like just niche of entertainment, and I'm excited to see where that goes for you. Where can people find you and latch on and stay up to date?
I mean, you can go to our website, basilkingfilm.com, which is essentially our link tree. You can see everything on there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Everything's under at Basil King Film. So, yep, that's our handle for pretty much everything. Even YouTube as well. You go on YouTube, you can see a couple of our shorts, or you can come to our showcase on July 20th and see those shorts plus the new one and the pilot and with a group of people and just enjoy the camaraderie with everybody.
The live aspect of it,
the
too.
live aspect.
Yeah. And that's at Vulcan Gas Company.
Love them.
It's on a Sunday, so there's free parking. So there's literally
Hey, that is. I love that you added that.
Yeah,
it's such a stipulation.
I wasn't gonna go, but now.
Yeah, free parking. Not just parking, but free. So yeah, that's badass. I will link all of that. I will put the it's the 20th.
Yep,
July 20th. I'll put that in the calendar. I'll start wrangling up a crew to join me. I'm sure there's plenty of local people, especially that can pop over there and have a good time watching you guys' work.
Yeah, and we're doing like I said, the tickets we're selling tickets for it, but all those ticket proceeds go to the Hog Foundation for Mental Health. So we do have like the general admission tickets, but then there's like a VIP bag. You pay a little bit extra. You get like we're doing specialty drinks as well, which actually our own Bobby Botany, Sean Meglin, actually he's like a master mixologist, so he's actually making specialty cocktails for the event. So you're getting a free ticket with that, but then we're also getting like a 4-poster set from all of our shorts, including our pilot, all done by the amazing Jeremy Martinez, who did all of our poster artwork. He's also going to be there as a vendor, selling prints, but also doing badass caricatures. So it'll be a good time. So yeah, just basilkingfilm.com will have our link tree, and you can get the tickets at the link on there.
I will say too, so we're gonna have a photographer and videographer there. We're gonna have a green carpet, not a
green,
red carpet,
not red,
and a very fancy backdrop so people could get into it, pose for the camera and whatnot. I would say dress to impress or come as you are, because we love just highlighting every body, like shapes, sizes, colors. Dress as you are, or if you want to get fancy, a lot of us will be getting fancy.
Any excuse to get fancy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. I hope you guys tune in with Basil King. Check them out. They are literally putting their heart and soul into this project, and I'm super excited for that. If you're looking at this studio, loving it, wondering how I've gotten onto the top of the world, I did not do any of this myself, and you can do it too. You can tip the scales for yourself like we talked about. You can start your project. You can get to the next level. Start letting people know about you by using Soundshed Studios. Come through and see these guys, Paul and Matt, for anything you need to do. If you need to tell your story, if you need to do a mastermind, film some videos because you're a real estate agent, or I don't know, a dental floss salesman. I don't know, but I promise you, these guys can make you look like the best of the best. They've done it for plenty of other people,
including us,
including Basil King crew right here and many others, and they can do it for you. They're right here in the heart of Austin, Texas. It's Soundshed Studios. And I have no other shameless plugs. I hope you guys roast me about my unbelievable sunburn that I got. Shout out to Cozy Canna for that.
I feel like you've been roasted enough.
I have been. Thank you. I've been roasted enough officially. But guys, keep it here on the Texas Growers Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, and keep up the fight for free access to hemp and THC and cannabis in Texas. But thank you guys again for joining me, and we'll see you guys on the next one.